getting into IIT means a lot of prep for JEE. So, and students, like you said, sacrifice 11th and 12th, some even 10th. Now they start from 6th standard with foundation and all the courses. So how did you manage it all, Gaurav? And IIT Mumbai, Bombay is tough to get into. It's one of the top IITs in India. So how did you manage to just balance it all?
Yeah, so I think one thing, we all reflect back, and I want to come from macro to micro here. In the Americas, they say 1950s was the best decade. In India, they say 1980s was the best decade when, some of us had the best of our time. The common thread between these two is that this was a time when everybody around you was earning the same amount of money. They were driving the same cars. If you had a phone, they will also have a phone. You have a black and white TV, they will also have a black and white TV. That whole sense of, security and confidence. Today, I feel the competition has got aggravated not because of the sheer number of people competing. It is actually because of the way we are perceiving each other's lives. We are not competing with our own excellence or our own brilliance today. We are competing with somebody else. And that, I think, is one thing which really helped me in my childhood. Because first of all, I was not competing with anybody else. It was not like, wo dekho, unka beta itna hai kar raha hai, wo kar raha hai. Because if that chap is studying at 4 p.m., I'm also studying at 4 p.m. It's not that he's having the best laptop of, MacBook specifications and I'm working on some old desktop. No, we never had computers. We were all listening to, actually, this is why I'm wearing this cassette right on my just because I used to listen to RD Burman's music and I just started exploring him. And there was some music being played in the background. I'm studying without worrying about what happens to our financial, social, mental status in the company, in the country, in the society, and so nothing, no outside distractions. B, no cable TV or the social media distractions. So I think we had it easier, though. We tend to say the next generation is having it easier and they are just messing it up. No, no, no. We definitely had it easier. I had nothing else to do. This tape recorder of mine, whatever songs it will play, I have to listen to that. I can't go on YouTube and put anything I want. That is one. Second, there is no pressure, I would say, which was coming in undue from other people's status or so on. The third thing I would say is that I think I was blessed with some very good teachers. First and foremost, my class teachers were very good. I didn't really have to go for too much coaching or anything like that. Some of the teachers were the best teachers. We respected them. They gave us the nuggets, which I don't think anybody else outside the classroom can. I strongly believe in good classroom teaching. And third very important factor for me was my father taught me mathematics. By the way, he's an MSc in mathematics, and he would have picked up 12th grade calculus and probability and those difficult topics after 20-25 years of him studying it. But he could have a sense of brushing his own knowledge and then teaching me. So that personal one-on-one coaching, it was not like a quota, big classroom of 65 students and you don't know what you're doing. It was some of the finest teachers are teaching us, my father, for example. And finally, I think, as I said, no distractions, so I could focus and study. Uh, that's very, very important. I think today, most of we have also ourselves distracted our children, forget about children getting distracted. I
Yeah.
think when people crib, the child is eating junk or watching junk. But the point is, yeah, if you have a 2 liter bottle of Coca-Cola in your refrigerator, how will you stop the child? If you are going out for McDonald's and stuff, how will stop your child and so on? So I think the personal sacrifices that our parents made to make sure that we can focus on our studies, I think that is a lesson for us to learn. So it's not really my doing. It's about as they say, the plant won't grow on its own.
Yeah.
You can't keep slapping the rose, grow
Yeah.
faster, grow faster. You have to put the right manure, right water, right amount of good quality soil and so. So that whole ecosystem was created, I feel,
Mm.
and I was lucky that I could then grow.
Whatever you said about that generation, the 80s, 70s, 80s, what I can think of is a discussion I was having with a friend yesterday, and we were talking about contentment. Okay,
Hmm.
somehow that term doesn't seem to fit in today. Because in spite of having everything, people are not content. God knows what they're seeking. But there was a time when people were content, not with only what they had materially around them, but overall, there was nothing very great pushing them, saying, okay, strive harder, strive harder. Is contentment good in a way? Or because today's kids don't have that, they have everything and still don't have it. So what is it that you would see would bring balance in both these 80s kids that you just described to today's
Yeah.
children?
Yeah, I think it's not easy, first of all. I think I can give a lot of gyan sitting here, but it's a battle. It's a daily battle, personally, for me also, for my wife, for the family. Uh, and honestly, I mean, we seek inspiration from, for example, people like you, Rashmi, and uh, the you'll be surprised. I was reading Panchatantra Sanskrit version, so that I can be sure when it's the shlok, and then the shlok is translated into Hindi. So it's not
Yeah, yeah.
any faff. So
Mm.
there's a beautiful line there. You know, children tend to imitate your thoughts,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
way you react to situations. And it's not only children, but anything that we do. And the beautiful line there was, I remember, it said, Ashva, which is horse, Shastra, Shastra, Veena, Vani, Nar, Nari. All of these things will behave the way the person holding them will behave. So by Nar Nari, they mean your employees or your children. By Ashwa, if you sit on a horse, and I was learning horse riding for some time, and then we just couldn't continue because of hectic schedules and all. But the teacher used to tell me that the horse is catching your cue. You don't have to be like Dharmendra and do all this chabuk and all, nothing. Horse just, if you turn this side, the horse will turn this side actually. You don't have to keep pulling the leash and stuff. So it's a beautiful equation between the horse rider and the horse. Similarly, your Shastra, the weapon can be in the hand of Arjun, it can be in the hand of Duryodhan, but it will behave differently because the person holding it. Shastra, the knowledge. Veena, the instrument. Vani, your voice. And Naranari. So I think what is important is that we just have to keep reminding ourselves. There are some amazing books that are available which can help us stay grounded and tell us about the reality of life. Because many times contentment, and they say that, your happiness is not decided by how much you have, it is decided by how much you want. First, fix that want, and please make sure it doesn't change every 5 years. Because today I'm happy with X car, tomorrow my friends have Y car, so I need a Z. No, no, no. That's not correct. So I think contentment comes from what is it that I need. Car takes me from point A to point B. It should save me my fuel or whatever it is. It should be X amount of comfort and so on. And then I fix, okay, fine, this is what I want. Sadhguru says something very good, right? We keep cribbing about traffic on the road. But yeah, you earned all your life to buy the dream car. Now the traffic is making you sit in the dream car. You better enjoy the dream car, right? So correct. So I in fact like traffic jams because that gives me a chance to listen to more music or talk to somebody, connect with somebody, call up somebody and say, hey, how are you doing? And so on, right? So that is one. Second, I think if we notice a lot of us are now living in houses where there are more bathrooms than the number of people living in it.
True.
There are more bathrooms than the number of rooms and so on and so forth. There's no limit to it. And finally, none of this matters. Finally, what matters is what is it that you really need around you that will give you happiness? If we are able to identify that and then say this much is enough, then anything above that is bonus. And we thank the, blessings of elders or God or whatever it is. I mean, we just say that fine, whatever else I have, can I put it to good use? Can I save it for investments and so on and so forth? I think then that financial security, I think, is very, very important for all of us. So we need to fix that too. Having a sense of contentment through whatever gives us happiness. Some people it's books, for some people it's music, for some people it's actually more and more time with family. For some people it is more time in isolation. And finally, for some people it's the social cause. So one line that I read, this was a very beautiful book called Psychology of Money. It's a highly recommended book. Keeps us very grounded. And the book said, finally, whatever you earn doesn't matter But what matters is you're really free when you are in control of your time. If you can decide on a given morning, today, this is what I will do for these many hours, then this I'll do, then this is what I'll do, unless somebody else comes and dictates it. When somebody else comes and dictates your time, you are a slave. So even if you are a CEO of a company or the big investor, if you are not in control of your time, you will not be happy. But if you are, you know, you're retired, or even if you're working in an X organization, but you seem to be in control of your time, you feel that, I can divide my day based on what I want to do, the happiness quotient goes up. So I think that eventually is the key to contentment, so to speak, I feel.
Yeah, yeah. And I think life teaches you best. So now that you're wearing the cassette t-shirt, I need to ask you, you finished 12th, you got into IIT Bombay. Did RD Burman enter IIT with you? Or were you
Yes.
already an RD Burman fan? Because today most of the world knows Gaurav Sharma as that encyclopedia of Pancham. Any question, any doubt, any film, any song of Pancham, you can ask Gaurav and Gaurav will have the answer.